Oh,
so what was that, Joe? You were getting what? You were
feeling all tingly.
you were getting tingly for Josh Giddey? Is that what you just said?
Oh, snap.
Yeah,
with
baby.
the conversation around Josh Giddey, that is wild, my boy. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the squad in the building. Yeah. Hey, we got a lot to get to on today's show. Of course, the Josh Giddey trade that went down. What does that mean for the Chicago Bulls moving forward? Me and Kid did a little solo episode just talking about the trade, but got to talk about the Bulls moving forward. Also, a Zach LaVine trade. Is it looming? When will we see a deal done? We've heard that the Bulls are talking with a lot of teams, like half of the NBA, about possibly trading Zach LaVine. Anybody want this dude? Does anybody want this? Crazy. And then, of course, an interesting topic, last minute addition into there. Want to talk about, should the Chicago Bears sign Connor Williams? Is he somebody that could be a good addition for this team? And finishing off with a statistic that might have us thinking that the Bears are closer than we think they are. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, what's going on, man? How y'all feeling, man?
Hey, man, I ain't seen you forever.
Hey, it's been a while. I saw him last night. Kind of. It was.
I saw you like an hour ago.
Hey, it was nuts. It was
a time was
a time was had, shall we say? Oh, we got to introduce everybody. Pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid in the building.
Here.
Of course, the super producer Joel Holt. C-Dub in this mug, man, running the ones and twos, and of course, Mr. Media himself, Big Steak at. I don't know where I was going. Hey, I saw the video, and it so much threw me off.
You ready?
Looking for the latest in great steak.
You ready? And we already did it already. Like, we couldn't even get past the first 3 minutes. There we go.
Jordan JC, as always, in the building. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, Josh Giddey is a Chicago Bull. Me and you just talked about this. They trade Alex Caruso for it. Bulls Nation not happy, by the way. Bulls Nation is not happy with the Josh Giddey trade.
Listen, I would love to do this if you don't mind, Pat. I would love to get the fellas' opinion on this before I go in, because some of you all are just dumb. Yeah, some of y'all are just like, you clearly aren't really good basketball fans. You just look at a name, say, "Oh my God!" and you like Alex Caruso was like a freaking 2-time All-Star around here. He's not. But fellas, I would love to get your idea. Hey, Calvin, JC, Joel, like give us your ideas. Like, how do you feel about the trade? Me and Pat talked about this about an hour ago. How do you
hold on real quick? We got 100 in the chat.
Oh, 100 in the chat.
Hey, man. Here we go. Here's the thing. Here we go.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Here's the thing. All right. I see the potential. Don't get it wrong, right? I see the potential.
Nothing crazy. I'll start making faces behind you, Calvin.
I'm not a fan of this. And the only reason I'm not a fan of this is because we literally received 0 draft compensation.
Mm-hmm.
When literally earlier this year, I think they could have received 2 first-round picks possibly for Alex.
100%.
If you could have got draft compensation and you're looking to go backwards, meaning you're looking to tear this thing down, you're not, and I'm assuming at this point, we're not going to re-sign DeMar. We're trying to ask everybody to trade for Zach LaVine. We're tearing this thing down. We're probably going to re-sign Pat. You got no draft compensation?
I hope we don't re-sign Pat.
They're going to resign.
Pat.
They're going to resign.
I can't guarantee much.
Hey, PK, he's the nightmare that keeps on giving.
I guarantee they resign Pat.
I love it. I think we got a young talent. He's is a 3-year pro. This dude, like last year, if you look at the stats up there, he had 16 points a game, 6 assists, 8 rebounds.
No, that wasn't last season.
No, I said
the season before.
The season before. That's what I put up. The
last,
season before. I love it because now, like you said, I think we are essentially getting that player back that can play either the 1, if not the 2, if not the 3. I mean, he's multifaceted, and he's still a young player that can ascend to, I think an all-star type of player. I mean, he can get triple doubles.
Yeah, but
he can score. Shoot. Yeah, but you can get better at scoring.
He's not a shooter.
We don't need
a shooter.
You don't need to do that, but he can facilitate. When you have basketball players that can do multiple things, that's a great thing. Yes, we would love to have a straight, shooter that can just create, hit the 3 in the corner, but he can drive to the hole. He can pass the ball. He has some vision. I love it. and we're sitting there like about Alex Caruso, where it's like he's a great.
Gonna put that up.
Well, what happened?
He's a great role model.
He's a great role model.
He's a great
I was
role
like,
model.
leave that alone.
No, we don't want to bring that
love
to
it.
the.
I like the move.
I don't love it. I put it like this: you got a guy who can't really play defense. Was exposed.
Look at George.
He was exposed in the playoffs.
Look at George.
He's not a shooter. Yeah, I'll give you this. He's a really good passer. Got a really good vision. He can do that. He can drop dimes, and he can probably score, facilitate, and all the good things. But like, he's not a defensive player. So there's a hole there. And if you're hoping his shooting improves like Lonzo's did. You're hoping that happens.
But he's only 21.
But his shooting has improved.
Over a 30-year-old.
His shooting has
Overseas,
improved,
and it
and he's
has
21. And I saw some people in there talking about, oh, he's a terrible plus minus. His plus minus has also improved every season. Last season, he was a negative 299, or rookie season, negative 299. He's a rookie year, though. Second year, negative 105 plus minus. This season, plus 375 plus minus. That's what he finished out the season at. JC, what are your thoughts on? Hey, JC back there, he looked like Shaq when Shaq was like, it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, back to one.
That man Calvin had a lot to say. I was like, all right, okay, well.
JC, what are your thoughts on the trade, my boy?
Yeah, I've been gone 4 days, and you guys have lost your minds, okay? C-Dub, Joe, what is the matter with you? Let's just put this in the context.
I
like the trade.
Yeah, but you also said something about he can't shoot.
No. They said
you
that.
said he
I
can't
didn't
shoot.
say
Okay,
that.
all right, okay. I take
love
that back.
the move.
I mean,
Well, you know what, C-Dub? Let me focus in on you.
Focus
then.
on
All right.
him.
All right, okay.
I'll let me.
First of all, I don't mind this trade not coming along back with like acquiring some future first round picks, because you got to put it in context. Yes, Alex Caruso is an extremely good defensive player, but he's one track. I won't say one track minded. You can rely on him on only certain aspects of the game. You're not going to expect Alex Caruso to put up 15 to 20 to 25 points a game. He'll give you a good 3 to 4 steals, be a good leader in the locker room, be a good almost like player coach. Those are the intangibles that you expect from a guy like him. He's a guy that is good on a very good championship team. That's a guy you need. This guy is 30 years old. The fact that we got somebody who's 21 years old, and the last 2 years before, for whatever reason, they stopped using him the way they should have, averaged 16 points in the second year, 8 rebounds, and 6.5 assists.
They stopped using him because Shea.
Yes, no, I understand that. Shea,
he stopped using him for a good
totally
reason.
Understand that, but SGA was there already. My point is, this guy has all the potential in the world to be the next, even better, maybe Jason Kidd. And you're looking at the numbers, and that's your boy. That's your boy, C-Dub. This guy has put up Jason Kidd numbers already in the first 3 years, and you're telling me, what have we missed since the Bulls have lost Lonzo Ball? What have we missed since the Bulls have lost Lonzo Ball?
What Jason Kidd were you watching, my boy? Because he definitely not putting up Jason Kidd numbers in his first season.
Actually, wait a minute.
What are we talking about?
He's right.
Let's look it up.
Yes,
he's right.
I know. Hey, stat man.
He's right.
All right.
No, he's not right.
No, I am right.
Jason Kidd averaged almost 10 assists a game his first 3 years.
Come on, man. He never averaged
Josh Giddey averaged
7.8 and 6.4. My point is, he's close to triple double.
You're talking about points.
You're right. 16.5 points.
6 assists is a long way from 10 assists.
Yeah, okay.
His rookie season, he averaged 11, 5, and 7.
We were letting you
That's
cook.
Jason Kidd.
Everybody's saying that's a woe in the chat.
Yeah,
It's
that
not a
was
woe.
good.
It's not a reach.
That was a stretch.
Jordan, we were letting You're starting to burn the food, Jordan.
My point is that he is a playmaker. He's a playmaker in the mold of a Jason Kidd, where he gets everybody involved. What have we been missing since Lonzo has gone down? That type of player who doesn't care about necessarily being the first primary scorer, but he will get everybody else involved, can also rebound, is committed to getting better as a shooter each and every year. That's what we've been missing. I like the trade straight up.
I like the trade straight up as well, and this is the reason why. JC mentioned it. It was you traded the 30-year-old for a 21-year-old. So realistically speaking, right? If you're talking about a 21-year-old Josh Giddey in this draft, he's a top 5 pick. Actually, he's probably a top 3 pick.
What is the 6th?
It's a trash draft, though.
First of all, he has better numbers.
But you got a better player.
Dark mind, you watch your mouth.
For what the Chicago Bulls need.
This was a trade for need.
This is a trade for need, right?
There
You're trying to run back what you had realistically with Lonzo Ball minus the defense. You got a 21-year-old player that's still developing, that's still moving in the right direction, that you can get on a probably a little bit of a team-friendly contract here. And if he doesn't work out, you're trying to clear money anyway. You just let him walk. It is what it is, right? Like I think that's the thing about this. Alex Caruso next season, were you going to re-sign him?
No.
Did he want to re-sign here?
Probably
not. He probably wants to go to a team that's a contender. Guess what? You put Alex Caruso on a team that's a contender. He's all kumbaya. They're probably going to be one of the best defenses in the NBA next season. Now coming back on this season, coming back on what the Chicago Bulls added in Josh Giddey. I think that you added a guy that legitimately is a facilitator. I think you added a guy that can legitimately run the offense. He's also a good rebounder. And you went out there and were able to, if he gives you the 13, 6 and 5 that Lonzo gave you.
I got his stats right there.
Who, Lonzo?
Those are Lonzo. And then his best year was
you gotta zoom in on that. I can't see that. I can't even.
Woo.
There you go. 13, 5 and 5 one for Lonzo Ball. That's what he finished at.
Yeah, but Pat, I don't think the numbers really tell the story of what Lonzo really did.
Over 200 in the chat.
I love this move because
I don't think the numbers tell the true story of what he really brings. What Lonzo really brings.
Well, Lonzo defensively is different. I'm not talking about on the defensive end. But here's what you're dealing with offensively with the Chicago Bulls. You need to be faster. You need to be have an offense that's shooting the ball more. Last season, the Chicago Bulls were 19th in offensive rating. They were 26th in three-pointers per game. You have to find a way to get this offense moving in the right direction. They were solid on the offensive rebounding game. They were good on the turnovers per game. Now that the defensive stats may take a little bit of a difference, but you want to know what they were in pace of play? 96.94. That's 28th in the NBA.
What was OKC in pace of play?
OKC was top 5.
Okay, who was on OKC again?
Yeah, that's because of Shea. That's
yeah,
because of Shea.
Williams.
That's
Even with Giddey, they had a higher pace of play.
Jalen Williams.
They had a higher pace of play, even with Giddey being a primary ball handler. That's something that we didn't talk about a lot, but they were. At the end of the day, it is a dual move to take the ball out of Kobe White's hand. So again, he's not easily trapped up top and things of that nature. That is a plus. When you look at everything that this gives us, stop overvaluing role players. Y'all overvalue role players like this dude was freaking. Y'all value him like he was DeMar DeRozan. He ain't DeMar.
It ain't us. It ain't us that's the value.
It is you
it's
right
the
now.
League. The league.
No. It's the organization because they literally didn't give a the top 10 pick.
Well, the organization made the move. Right now, it's the fan base. Some of you all got to let it go. You were not going to get, what you could have got yesterday's price ain't today's price. It works both ways. Sometimes
you still could have got high draft compensation, but I think here's the thing.
But what are you going to get? Why?
But that's the thing. You're getting high draft compensation in a draft where, if you get the 3rd overall pick, cool. I'm getting Donovan Clingan.
Yep.
I'm here for that, right? I like Donovan Clingan, good rim protector, young body. But now at 11, my point guard position is shored up. Now I'm not looking for point guard in this draft. At 11, now I can focus in on the slew of big men that are in this draft. And big men that are in this draft.
But guess what? I can still do that now.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Yeah.
But where he is in his career right now with Giddey, even compared to Lonzo, he's already way ahead of Lonzo. So it's like, yes, he is. Even his last year, the year before Alonzo came to the Bulls, he had 14 points. He had better steals in terms of defense, but barely 6 assists and almost 5 rebounds. He's a little bit bigger version of him at 6'8" versus Lonzo being 6'6".
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
and this 21,
is that's after his. I can see him being comparable to Lonzo.
4th, 5th year. That's in his 4th year that he actually started to actually have the most improved. And then he came to us, he was 24. So
you know what, though? I'll say this. Lonzo's number, I will agree with C-Dub on this. Lonzo's numbers don't speak to how good Lonzo actually was. And every time he started hooping, he got hurt.
Yep.
Yeah. You look at all the months before Lonzo got hurt or like something crazy happened. Yeah. Lonzo would be at like 18 points a game, 9 assists, 9 rebounds. Like Lonzo's peak is better than what Josh Giddey is right now.
Lonzo was that connective tissue. It's just the same way as Scottie Pippen was. Like Scottie Pippen's numbers, if you really look at it, he only averaged about 20 points, 21 points a game over his career. but it was so much more that he did. If you watch the tape, Scotty is everywhere. He's literally connected to all 5 players on the court defensively. Same thing with Lonzo.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Josh Giddey just ain't nowhere near that. I'm not saying he got to be a defensive stalwart, but he's not even on the same playing field defensively.
No.
But you're not asking
the good with the bad, though.
You're not asking him to be
you're
on
not
the
bringing
same
him
My
in for
only
that
gripe
defense.
with that though is this: it's easy for us to sit there and look at what Scotty, let's for lack of another person. I hate to compare Lonzo to Scotty.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That
was a
But
wild
like
comparison.
I'm with you on the comparison. How much he could do on the floor?
Right, that's what I
what
meant,
doesn't show up on the stat sheet, right? Lonzo never had enough time on the floor for you to even see that. And on top of that, once he finally did have enough time on the floor, you finally have teams that can game plan for it. We've never seen him play close to a season. He's only played like what 65 games one time?
Yeah.
Everything else was
Lonzo?
under 50
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
So realistically,
True.
you don't even have enough time on the floor to even have a full impact. And that could go both ways.
Yeah.
We don't know how teams would have schemed for him and stuff like that because he was never available that long for that to happen.
You didn't get the chance to get the full greatness of that team.
To me,
Or-
I just
or
like the
just see the
trajectory.
natural- all I can say is this: at 21, the one thing I will agree with C-Dub is at 21, Josh Giddey is 3 seasons in.
Yep.
He's already on his upward trajectory.
Yep.
Yeah.
At 21, Lonzo was only in his 2nd season, and he was having a really bad 2nd season.
Yeah.
So the development piece here is better from the aspect of, hey, what am I getting by trading him straight up? Josh Giddey is better than 90% of this draft. So I technically drafted a player who could have been in this draft from the age perspective.
Yeah.
I'm not losing anything.
Yeah.
I get my point guard who knows the NBA game. The NBA game is not too fast for him. He knows the pace. And now I can do, like you said, go after my big. We don't lose anything at all. This is a great trade. Bulls Nation needs to go ahead and just shut up and deal with it. Because I'm tired of seeing people say, this is a horrible. No, it wasn't. You just value Alex
Here's my
Caruso.
only
Y'all
argument.
overvalue Alex Caruso.
The only reason I looked at this is like not 100% with. Don't get it wrong.
I
like Josh
don't think it's an
Giddey.
overvalue. My bad. I don't think it's an overvalue. And kind of to what Cito was going to say, I don't think it's an overvalue. I think it's we value him for a team we don't have.
Yeah.
I think we're valuing Alex Caruso the right way.
Right.
100%.
You value
the
him
team
for a
is not-
Break that down for me.
We're valuing for like if we had Alex Caruso and we were OKC, the value you get from Alex Caruso is perfect.
Yeah.
He's the ultimate.
But we're valuing him for a team that he's not playing for. The Bulls aren't anywhere near that.
He's like a Marcus Smart. He's a Tony Allen. He's a really
I
good
can
glue
get that.
guy that
Yeah.
you want him on your team, but you're
Absolutely.
wasting him because this team is done. So you kind of have to rebuild it.
It's not even just about the fact that Alex Caruso was the type of player that we maybe value in the right way, whether it's overvalue or undervalue. It's what you could have got back in the trade. OKC got 130,000 picks. you couldn't get one?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
because you gave up a
You're
30-year-old
giving up a 30-year-old
role
for a
player
21-year-old.
for a starter.
but
There's
he's
an age
more
gap.
than a role player, bro.
No, he's not.
He is.
No,
we're
he's
not exalting
No, he's
Alex
not.
Caruso,
He didn't even make the
If
first
Alex Caruso
all
was
defensive team.
25,
No,
Nah,
but let's be real. Let's be real. He
He's
got
not.
snubbed not being on first defense.
100%.
Let's not
Okay.
cap on who AC. That's what I'm saying, right? We're
Okay,
valuing him for a
AC.
team that we don't have. Like Alex Caruso is I said this the other day. He's a Draymond Green type of player.
He's a nice
And I'm
guy.
not.
He's a Draymond Green type of player. And the fact that he comes off of the bench has nothing to do with
Exactly.
the team that or the type of player that he is. It has more to do with the team that he's on.
He's extremely valuable to what they do.
And for most of this season, he wasn't even off the bench.
He started.
No,
Alex
he
Caruso
started.
was in the starting lineup,
He's
so
in
that's
the
not even
starting
really a good point.
And
Like
he
he
can
was a
start 1
starter
through
for this
4.
team.
Let me ask you all this. What trade would you have got? Like, is there any other player that you could have gotten for Alex Caruso straight up that would have had just as much impact for need as Josh Giddey right now?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Straight up.
Probably not.
No.
It's hard to quantify.
Is there
that.
any guard that you could draft that would be potentially, we don't know, as impactful as Josh Giddey rolling into the season?
I would have never thought we'd get Josh Giddey.
Look at those numbers. That's all I'm
Caruso.
saying.
I thought that it was possible to get him 100% because of the value that the NBA had, but I think that I didn't think the Bulls would pull the trigger on it.
Facts.
Like this whole
I ain't
deal
gonna lie,
is
that's surprising.
this whole deal is really a shock to me just because I didn't think the Bulls would do it. It has nothing to do with where the Bulls valued him or what it. I just thought there's no way AK is getting rid of Alex Caruso. You're not getting rid of him for a top 10 pick.
And his contract is very reasonable.
That's a very reasonable
What was
contract.
the
The
top
next
10?
one,
He was making $8 million.
the
What was the
next
top
one is
10
going to be nice.
What was the top 10 pick? Are we talking about bottom 5?
Think about a top 10 pick. Their first year, they're making Alex Caruso money.
No, I'm talking about the
like one of the offers.
Well,
We're
we don't
talking
know.
about
We don't know.
I
Oh, I don't
forgot.
know.
I think it
We
was
don't know
one
what
that
the
was
offer
out there.
was.
I can't remember exactly.
because if
what.
it's not top 5, then that doesn't mean anything. Because the talent we want is a top 5 talent,
But back to your point though, if
and the
even,
talent that we do need, we could get with the pick we got.
but even this is why I'm not as irritated anymore about the fact that we didn't trade Caruso for a top 10 pick. Because again, going back to your point, PK, wholeheartedly agree that you have a talent like this. Josh Giddey probably would compete for the number 1, number 2 pick in this draft, depending on need. If you're telling me you have a 6'8" guard that can pretty much do everything on the floor and is improving in his shooting ability, then I'm taking him over a lot of these guys that have been that are prospects. I'm taking him over these guys.
And you know what? I concur with you, and also it's 300 in the chat.
Over 300 in the chat.
300.
300. Hey, if you're over on the YouTube side, hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. If you're over on the Twitter side, hit that retweet, hit that like button. Let's keep this thing moving along. Definitely hit the retweet though, because the likes are not the likes don't show up no more. They try.
Nobody likes us.
They trying to make it.
What are you all doing?
No, they Twitter trying to make
I know
it something. The
Twitter's
porn, you don't want to. They don't want a Doc Rivers situation where he liking.
Dang.
You know, the
That was a
wild time. Remember,
Okay.
Doc was just out here liking pics, and there was
He has a different
there
perspective.
was a little extracurricular activity going on in those pics. Yeah, it was crazy.
Extra appendages.
Doc was going. Extra appendages is nuts.
Right.
Oh man. Hey, let's keep this thing moving along, man. It still goes into the same conversation as we keep moving this the show along, because now the conversation around the Zach LaVine trades that the Chicago Bulls are looking to make. I think that there is now more than ever more need for you to get the Zach LaVine trade as right as you possibly can. Because now you need to start finding pieces that fit with this team. Realistically, you're thinking Josh Giddey is your starting point guard. Kobe White is your 2. Maybe there's some combination of P. Will at the 3 and or P. Will at the 4. I don't think Ayo Dosunmu remains in the starting lineup. I think that now you get Ayo Dosunmu off of the bench, which I'm not mad at. I think Ayo Dosunmu takes on that Alex Caruso role. Which I think that even with all of this, right, you want to talk about getting younger. Hayes brought this up, and I think it's a great point. Ayo Dosunmu can do everything that Alex Caruso can.
Good point.
And so now you're bringing him off of the bench. You're getting younger at that position as well. Your 3, I would assume your 3 is P. Will if you go out and get a guy like Kyle Filipowski in this draft or some kind of 4 in this draft. You would probably want to get a young player that you can put into the lineup and get him going right away. And then 5 is Nikola Vucevic.
Would TSJ be a 3 if we were to get him?
TSJ could be a 3, 6'6", shorter
maybe
wingspan.
not.
I believe
Yeah.
he's only got like a 6'9" wingspan.
Okay.
He'd have to improve his shooting a lot.
Okay.
But I mean, a 6'6", 225. Listen, y'all know I love TSJ. I think that he brings everything that the Bulls need in a player. And if you draft TSJ, I think you do Josh Giddey, Kobe White, TSJ, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic. That's not a bad way to start your lineup off. I wouldn't be mad at that.
You said what? Williams was there.
Williams will be their 4 basically. But in this, you also got to think Josh Giddey 6'8". He's going to be like more of a point forward.
He's a point forward.
He's a point forward. He's not going to be guarding the point guard night in and night out. He's also probably getting the weakest defensive assignment. But he's not going to be guarding the point guard night in and night out. He's probably going to be guarding 3s.
Moving into the Zach LaVine topic, it seems as if I'm quoting what Casey Johnson has mentioned, that the Bulls have floated around as many as 15 proposals centered around Zach LaVine, including Sacramento Kings, Orlando Magic, and the Philadelphia 76ers. You all know who I like on the 76ers. Who? I'm a Tobias Harris fan.
Okay. Right.
We kind of gapped that player, but he's not DeMar.
I'm good.
Would you start him over Patrick at the 4?
If I'm getting, I'd start anybody over Patrick at the 4.
I mean,
but,
I mean, that ship kind of sailed on that one. JC ain't gonna lie to you.
I'm good.
But I'm gonna say this. I just want to add this.
I'm good on Tobias Harris.
I am. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I know that this
because to me, if you get Tobias Harris, just keep DeMar.
Pretty much.
I like
no, the reason why I say that is because Tobias Harris can give you the same shot making ability, but he doesn't demand the ball.
DeMar?
No.
He has a good mid-range
You're right,
shot.
but he ain't DeMar.
He's a
Not
good
consistently.
mid-range shooter.
And DeMar's
He ain't
clutch.
DeMar, bro.
DeMar's
But
clutch.
DeMar needs to take a lot of shots for that.
Yeah, I'd still rather have DeMar than Tobias Harris.
I'm just looking at the ability to make
Kobe-like.
shots
I ain't
and
never
not be
said that about
not be a
Tobias.
primary scorer. DeMar's your primary. DeMar's on your team. He's getting that ball in the paint,
Yeah.
back to the basket. That's slowing down pace of play. Why did I get Josh Giddey if I'm gonna do that? But
I don't think
Tobias
they keep
Harris
DeMar either way.
actually can play in a faster pace. He's proven that with Maxey. He's
Yeah.
run the floor with him plenty of times, and he can be a spot-up shooter if you need him to. I'm not saying that that's ultimately what has to happen.
But in
I'm
the
just
chat
saying.
said, Tobias, you done lost your damn marbles.
Hey, that's probably somebody who thinks that Josh Giddey is a bad trade. Anyway, but
Tobias is crazy. Hey, I've never seen somebody lose an entire show quicker. Everybody in the room and in the chat went Tobias Harris.
hey, but once you start thinking about it,
Dre.
it
Well,
makes
that's
sense
100.
though.
You know what
Dre?
killed Tobias Harris though? What killed Tobias Harris is Jimmy Butler. I ain't gonna lie to you. He messed that man
Yeah,
whole
he
career
did.
up, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody
That's true.
thinking him
You
crazy.
chose
Tobias Harris over me.
Now, that's a bad trade. That's a bad move.
That's a
But
fact.
here's
I
the
ain't gonna
thing.
lie.
Let me lay up. There we go.
Oh,
Back?
Hey,
snap.
everybody.
Are we back? Did we do it? Did we make
We
it
got
back?
392 in the chat. Thank you so much. For
Hey,
staying
man.
with
Hey,
me.
We
listen,
added people.
Don't you dare
Wow.
P Kid,
Don't you
P
dare.
Kid
I make a lot
started
of
talking
sense.
Tobias Harris,
You gotta make the money
and the
work,
show
baby.
died.
You gotta make the money work. It makes sense.
Tobias Harris conversation killed the show.
It's a thought process. I say,
Oh, man.
Well, stop thinking,
Follow
smart guy.
the
Stop thinking. Oh, we got 400
That's
in
to
the
help
chat.
us right
Oh,
on.
honey.
We got 400 in the chat. by the way.
Over 400 in the chat.
it got us 400.
Oh
Put my
God,
glasses back
this
on.
man here. But no, anyway, I'm scared to go back to the topic. So you were saying Tobias Harris?
I'm saying, if you think about it, put our money in savings.
There we
bonds.
go.
So right here we go. No,
No.
but seriously, there's a lot of different trade talks for Zach LaVine. I think that Philadelphia has one of the best offers that they could put on there. Tobias Harris being a part of that. I'm not saying it has to be, but you have to make the money work.
Yeah.
The Sacramento Kings, though, however, are the front running team. How do you all feel about the different things that you've seen there?
He said it was peaky and tight polo.
I saw that.
Oh, okay. I got you, DB. I'm being a
Polo's
Christian.
not even that tight.
It's
To be
not
honest
tight.
with you, it's not tight at
Hey,
all.
listen, DB, I'm being a Christian today. Mind your business. All right, let's go say that.
Polo not even that tight. That peaky and Tobias take was so bad it froze the line. But no,
You don't even have a name.
I'll say
Just use little one.
I'll say this. I think that some of the trade. Here's the thing: you're trying to take the best that you can get in a trade right now, and most of the NBA knows that with a Zach LaVine trade, you don't want him.
You don't want him.
Most of the people know this, so the deals that you're going to get are going to be different. The people that are looking to acquire him are going to offer less. The teams that are willing to take a chance on him are going to offer less. And so now, I mean, realistically speaking, if you can get back a player that's healthy for 70 plus games of the season and can do something really, really well, I think you're in a position of winning. Now, I will say this, like, to me, the biggest thing that the Bulls could do if they were to, put themselves in a good position here is to go get somebody who's an elite shooter.
Yep.
Go get somebody who can go out there, spread the floor out, stretch the floor out, and open things up in the middle. Realistically speaking, to me, that's the best case scenario for this team right now. If you went out and you traded with that trade that was floated there for Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter,
Harrison Barnes.
with the Kings trade, right? Yeah, Harrison Barnes is the money move that we got him on the team. Get him the heck up out of here. Let's save some bread on this.
Kevin Huerter could shoot.
But Kevin Huerter brings you the shooting ability. At this point, you have to take the best case scenario that you can get.
I'll be honest with you. I like another name on there that kind of goes along with revamping this team and kind of going younger. Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray for the last two seasons
Why
have
would
shot
they trade Keegan Murray?
They
close
trade
to
Keegan
40%.
Murray.
Hey, listen, if they
Just
trade Keegan
saying.
Murray
for Zach LaVine.
remember why would they do that?
Zach LaVine's a better player right now, so I think they would bank on him being already solidified as a star versus an up and coming player.
You trade Keegan Murray.
I would take Keegan.
I'll be on the phone. Oh, Keegan Murray in the deal? Yeah, we doing that. Put the paperwork in. Hey,
Yeah, hurry up.
Hey, no, I'm still here. Don't
Maybe
you
that's
worry
a pipe
about it.
dream. I don't know.
Yep, we got Keegan Murray here. Get him on the phone now. League office right now. Get the deal done.
I don't
I'm
know.
still here. You put the deal
Hey,
in.
you trade Keegan Murray. Hey, who's that guy right there? That guy right there, Patrick Williams?
Yeah,
Get him
he's
out of
gone.
here.
He's
Get him
gone.
up out of here.
6'8".
He wouldn't be going nowhere. If you trade Zach for
Put him on the
Keegan
bench.
Murray,
You realize Zach is not even in the
no,
graphic, right?
P Will would probably be here. You'd probably move on from DeMar as well. P Will would probably be here. Keegan Murray at the 4, or vice versa, one or the other.
Hey,
they're not getting rid of Pat.
Charlotte has an interesting offer for Patrick Williams. Hey, listen, what's that man's name? He back in the league now. What's that boy name?
Who?
You know who I'm talking
You
about.
talking about the guy that was nice, the dunker?
Miles Bridges?
Yeah, hey, listen,
Miles Bridges?
what's Miles
Hey.
up to, dog?
I'll take Miles
why would
Bridges.
they
I ain't
get
gonna lie.
Miles
like Miles
I'll take
Again,
Miles Bridges.
Again, we have to talk about trades
Because we're
that
trying
make
to get
sense.
rid of that guy. That's why.
But you got to talk about trades that make sense both ways. Why
Don't
the heck
shut
would they
the internet
say,
off.
hey, we got Miles Bridges here. We just going to get rid of him
Hey, listen, if we're gonna do with
for a
questionable
dude that
background,
hasn't put it on the show.
if we're
Got
trading
hurt
for
the last
questionable
2
backgrounds,
seasons.
Miles Bridges is great.
I mean, listen.
Wow.
Oh, that was nuts. That was nuts. I mean, as a player,
snap.
listen, I would love to have Miles Bridges on the team, but why would Charlotte trade Miles Bridges for Patrick Williams? That's my thing, and that's what it comes down to me is the realistic scenario that, when you're looking at Zach LaVine trades and stuff like that, you're in a position now where you have no choice but to take whatever the best deal that's offered to you is. You're not in a great spot. You're not in a spot of power. You're not in a position to dictate or mandate anything. You're probably not getting back draft capital in that scenario either. Like I mean, you're taking on, and so you want to get the best case scenario. That's why I said the Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes trade, because you get a guy in Kevin Huerter who can knock down the three ball, can space the floor, and he went through some struggles last year, but now he's coming into a team that has a legitimate point guard on it in Josh Giddey. I think that opens up the floor even more.
Can I interest you in the potential? And this is just my speculation. They just lost. We kind of talked about this off camera. The Dallas Mavericks have draft picks. And they are a team that right now development is not what they're looking for. They already have one rookie on their squad. He had a good season, but you also saw moments where he was definitely a rookie. We're talking about Lively. They need a third scorer.
They need a third scorer because the show ain't Tim Hardaway Jr.
The show ain't Tim Hardaway Jr.
I can see Zach being there.
Zach being there.
That would be nice. But wouldn't that pick be very late, though?
No, they have. Well, they have.
It'd be a late pick.
It'd be a late pick.
They went to the NBA Finals.
Right. Well, I'm not talking about a pick.
It's 29.
It would be. It would be a 2025, 2026 pick. First of all, they could trade their 2025 first overall.
We don't have
pick,
a 25
first round
either,
pick, and they could trade their 2031, if I believe. Last time I looked at it, those are the only two first rounders that they can trade. Last time I looked at it, if I'm mistaken, please correct me in the chat. But I do know they could trade the 2025 first round pick.
But see, to me, I don't think they'd move off the 2025 pick because next year's draft is a draft where you can find the player you're looking for. Next year's draft is one where next year's draft is loaded. Like by pick 28, 29, 30. If you are that far down, I don't think they're going back to the NBA Finals.
This is where the statement came from. But when you're that close, especially in the NBA, skip them picks.
But I mean,
you skip them picks, and in the NBA, you're this close. You need a veteran that I can get 2, maybe 3 good years out of to fill this void.
But is that Zach LaVine? That's the problem. If you trade the pick for a player who's been often injured, who's struggled to stay on the court for the last 3 years, who's had to fight through injury to even be on the court, and hasn't been anywhere near the player that you're looking for, absolutely. I wouldn't trade a draft pick for that player.
I would, because he is the player that they needed. Like if Tim Hardaway Jr. could put the ball on the floor better, they would have had more of a fighting chance. If PJ Washington could hit that corner 3 the same way he did against Minnesota, this would have been a different series.
Zach LaVine's a better player in that scenario.
In all those scenarios, he's not the primary ball handler. It's harder to trap when you got Luka, Kyrie, and LaVine on the floor. The spacing is going to be ridiculous.
Well, especially if he could return back to the old Zach.
Right. He doesn't have to do as much.
He won't. He's never going to be 28 point per game Zach on that team.
He'll be like 20, 21.
I'm saying ability, like his health, his ability.
Yeah, so but him not having to carry a first or secondary role there, he would be the third option. He doesn't have to go through the same type of pressure.
Yeah.
And that will open that floor for everyone involved. Yeah. I could see that, and we could get a pick in potentially. I'm not saying that. I mean, Tim Hardaway's had some moments, but the last season,
Tim Hardaway's terrible. I'm
good on Tim Hardaway.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Tim Hardaway always
was
a mid player, bro. Like there was never a time in my life where I was like, Tim Hardaway Jr. is good.
Yeah,
he's just
I've never he's always been a streaky shooter at best.
At Michigan,
he's been an okay defender. Let's talk about him like he's a clamp. Like who's the last person Tim Hardaway locked down?
He had potential.
Nobody.
He had potential, but he never realized the potential.
Yeah, he never.
Bro, when you legitimately, people was talking about Tim Hardaway potential all up until 4 years ago, and 4 years ago he was 32. It's like there's not potential no more, bro. That's just who he is, bro.
Yeah, no, he's been in the league for a minute.
Tim Hardaway Jr. been in the league a long time, bro. How old is Tim Hardaway Jr., bro?
That's crazy.
Let's look it up.
Hey, but you know what? With that,
y'all know I'm terrible with ages.
He's
He's 32 right now, so I was wrong.
He's 28.
So they was talking about, but even so, you was talking about potential at 28.
That's great. Yeah, that's like at the end of your peak.
No, he's 32.
He's 30.
No. He's talking about 4 years
ago.
ago.
Catching up.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, Joe.
The one thing that could help the Bulls, though,
the show more. Sorry.
One thing that could help the Bulls on this is that if other teams feel like they're missing out on the big name free agents, so Joe Cowley brought out that according to a source, Bulls are also feel that there is a growing market for Zach, with a handful of teams feeling like they have no shot at several coveted free agents that will be out there. Let the game of chicken begin. So, I mean, obviously Zach's trade ability, the ability to get more for Zach could be there if teams feel like, hey, I'd rather have a Zach than the next tier player that because I'm missing out.
No, it's just waiting.
Zach is definitely going to be. He's going to be the last. Like he's the Carlos Boozer.
Nah, I think that's Klay Thompson.
Wow.
No. Because
Carlos was good.
Because to me, Klay is a little bit past. I don't care what the Bahama clip show.
Oh no, he's past.
He's way past. I don't think it's Klay. I think Zach is. I think Zach is Carlos Boozer. I think
what do you mean by that?
I think we
player.
wanted
Compliment.
LeBron, we wanted Chris Bosh, we wanted D Wade. We didn't get none of them. We got Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, good compliment player. That's like second tier.
That's still a good player,
Yeah, he's
right?
not-
Carlos
yeah.
Boozer
Well,
was a
he's
good
really a
player for
third
the
option.
Bulls.
He was an all-star.
Couldn't defend it to save his life, but he was a good player.
He was an
It just
all-star.
depends on the team, you know. It just depends on like in the
But you don't want Zach.
Yeah.
Like if I can get Paul
You're not
George,
coveting him.
I want
Yeah.
Paul George.
Nah, Paul George is older. He's also had injuries.
But he's a better player.
He's a better player.
Yeah, but now you're kind of setting yourself up for failure if he gets hurt, and he's gotten hurt often. Like he's the same player health wise as Zach LaVine.
But he's a better player.
When
Like
he's-
I'm taking the health risk anyway.
Yeah.
Give me the better player.
he's older than Zach. He's gonna garner just as much money.
I hear
as
all of
Zach.
that. But he's a better player.
That's what.
Yeah.
it all
Like
boils
he
down
just
to.
is. Like
I
Paul
do
George is a
agree
better
with that. I
player.
would-
And
I
if
would
I'm
say
taking a chance on injury issues, give me the dude that's better.
For the
And-
Bulls- are we talking
and-
about for the Bulls or just in general?
No,
Just
I'm
for the Bulls?
I'm saying for the rest of like the teams that are out here in free agency trying to trade for a player or sign a player. I think that Zach LaVine is like you go through a list of dudes and then you go call him about Zach.
I think Zach can go to one of those teams that are like, we're not there yet, but we're on our way. And there's a couple teams you can say that, like I don't think they do it, but the Cavaliers are like one of those teams. The Knicks are one of those teams.
Zach LaVine to the Cavs would be a
be
good
crazy.
get for them because I think you got to move down to
Spider?
Mitchell anyway.
Spider.
Man,
Yeah.
No, you ain't
Spider?
getting relax.
Good.
I'm
Why does
agree.
everybody think that Spider is the answer coming here?
I'll take.
He's
I'll
not.
take
I
him.
love that.
Hey, you
Yeah.
see that guy behind you?
No.
That guy, Kobe White? Yeah, I mean, if Kobe
You're
continues his
stunning his
trajectory, I
growth
think
if
I
you
got
bring
that guy.
Donovan Mitchell here.
If I want an
Whoa,
undersized
wait,
guy that
I
shoots
mean,
a
I
lot,
get
there you
that.
go.
Understand.
So where we need a forward.
Spider's like 6'2".
Kobe White is 6'6".
If I want,
Yeah.
6'5".
Hey,
6'5".
Kobe White is not undersized.
He-
but
I
he's
want
a
a
super-
6'6" with hair.
Yeah, you're right. So if I want
Yeah,
a
his
super guard
hair
that's gonna
does
put
make
that
him
ball
big.
in the air, I got that guy already.
He said, I want an undersized guy that's going to shoot
Well,
it.
Spider's undersized. That's what I meant to say. Like
Spider
Spider's
is
6'2".
6'2".
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, no. Hey, Spider is 6'2".
Spider's 6
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
He's 6'2".
Hey, but he plays like he's
Air
6'5".
quotes.
Kobe is
Kobe
6'5",
White is
though.
6'5",
And he
6'6".
gonna
You know
take
what I mean?
like 50
Yeah.
shots a game. Like,
Depending on what hair, Kobe White could be 6'7". You know what I mean? If we getting Froby out there. But no, I think that if the Zach LaVine trade does come, I'm glad that the Bulls are pushing. It's time to move forward.
it's time
guys.
to go.
It's time to
time.
move forward.
This time.
I wanted
They
Zach
needed
to be
this years
good.
ago.
I was fine. But see,
Time to blow it
here's
up.
the thing, and I've said this many
Miami
times.
pick up the
I'm
phone.
fine with why you signed Zach LaVine.
Yes, you had to.
You had to.
You had
I
to.
keep telling people this. The perception of the Chicago Bulls
Cheap.
were that they. Well, I mean, listen, that's
They pay the wrong.
tough. Like, cheap is.
They pay the wrong people.
They are cheap, but it's not. They cheap, but they not cheap. They cheap, but they not
They
cheap.
cheap when it comes to
paid some
max money.
players.
No, they cheap when it comes to the
They
White Sox.
paid some players.
But 79 million. Sorry, I had a stroke there. Andrew Benintendi, I hate him. But no, I think here's the thing. He's third worst player in baseball. He's our highest paid player ever.
Hey.
But I think here's my thing with why you signed Zach LaVine and why I'm okay. But now you have to pivot. Now you have to adjust. You signed Zach LaVine because you needed to change the perception that goes back to 1999. You didn't want to keep Michael Jordan. You didn't want to pay Michael Jordan. You didn't want to give Mike the money, the greatest player that your city's ever seen. You didn't want to pay him throughout his career. And you wouldn't restructure his contract when everybody else was getting money.
Like 36
Or
million.
Scotty.
They were trying to leverage.
Well, Scotty already had it coming.
age.
He knew he wasn't.
Well, they were.
I
starting to break
hear
down.
you.
Hey,
But-
Mike
hey,
was
listen.
getting 36
Hey, listen.
million.
Hey,
dog.
listen.
I'm sorry.
Hey, listen.
Mike was breaking
you,
the bank.
You can say that, but the NBA players who didn't want to come to Chicago didn't say that.
No, you're
So
right.
then
You're
you
right.
go through years of that. You finally get to this point where it's like, oh, maybe people want to come here again. We got Derrick Rose. Things are moving in the right direction. And then players looked at it as if you turned your back on Derrick Rose.
Yeah, they screwed him.
And so now the perception around your team is you don't support the Muzz. You don't rock with the Muzz when they go through their stuff. When they come back, you're ready to get rid of them. You just treat them like assets, get them out the door. When you put Zach LaVine through 5 years of basically going, we're never giving you a team.
Yeah.
Ooh, Baki.
And then you re-signed him because you needed to change the perception of we don't put good we're not willing to pay people
I'll
for
take
what
that in
they've
a
gone
heartbeat,
through
but that is
and what
not
they're
happening.
going through here.
I like Nas Reed.
Hey,
That's
Baki,
not
no
happening.
disrespect.
Hey,
You
They
got
will be
yourself a
stupid
dang deal.
That would be the dumbest thing in the
Oh,
world.
they turn right back
Hey,
to
that would be the dumbest thing in the world.
Nas
Hey,
Reed is
Baki,
nice,
that's the
though.
worst trade you've ever put in this chat. I ain't gonna lie to you, Baki. That was horrible.
I will say this.
That was horrible, bro.
The Wolves would be the dumbest team in franchise.
Why would they trade us that, bro? Y'all gotta look at the other team, bro.
It'd be nice.
Baki, I'm disappointed in you.
Nas Reed
I'm disappointed
literally
in Baki
outplayed
for that one.
the
That was
defensive
nuts.
player of the year in the
That'd be
That
nice.
was nuts, Baki.
So let's do this though, because it's clear that we're trying to move him.
Oh man,
We have no idea exactly what team. If they fielded 15 proposals, that's half the league, for God's sake.
Literally,
That sounds like
That's
desperation.
That's
Will
desperation.
anybody take him?
Hey,
Somebody.
Please
Hey,
believe
But
me,
I'm like,
guys.
why trade him if you're not going to? I don't
Oh,
want to
God.
give him away for nothing.
You have no choice.
I understand.
Yeah,
I
you
kind
overvalue
The
your
relationship is gone.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
keeping a player
Fire
here.
the coach. New
You're,
coach.
you're keeping a. It has nothing to do with
we
the
know
coach.
that
It's
ain't
the relationship between a player and the front office.
We gotta do something.
Now,
You,
here's the
you
thing.
trade him away.
Before we,
You trade him away.
Yeah,
before
I
we
don't-
pivot out to
I
our
don't.
last
I just
topic,
don't like it.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Said
I don't
Baki.
want it.
Hey, he said Baki's high. Settle down, bro. Baki, that was a bad
That's a
trade,
bad
but that
trade,
was
yeah.
nuts.
Hey, we love you though.
Jay and Nas
Hey,
Reed.
listen,
Hey,
thank you for getting the heat off
get
of
one
me.
off.
Hey, Shay, that was a Shay level trade, Baki. That was nuts. That was
Hey,
nuts.
Shay and Ben back
Shout out to Shay, but that was a crazy trade off.
Before we pivot to football, because I know we have to get there.
We do.
What? We don't.
Before we
want it.
pivot to football, we know that he's going to end up being traded. Do you think this is before or after the draft?
I think I think the Bulls were trying to do it yesterday. Man, I didn't listen. Here's the
Good
thing:
point.
when you
Yeah.
call 15 teams, that don't mean you got 15 offers on the board. That means you called probably 13 teams, and 13 of them said no.
Is that you sure?
Right? You know what I mean? You probably called.
That's
Sure.
exactly what that means.
I'll be
prob-
here. I'll be here.
you probably called
I'll
a
be
couple-
here. I'll be waiting.
That's right.
Just in case.
You probably called a couple of teams twice. You know what I
Listen,
mean?
I know what you're thinking. I know the contract seems high, but if you look at it, the cap space is going up. You need the guy like this. Hey, listen, he's giving you good 50
He's a
games.
three-level
Look at his
score.
averages.
3-level scores, 50 games a
When he's
season.
on the
I
court,
promise you
he's
could
very,
contend.
very
He's
good.
phenomenal.
But I think it's going to happen before. Pat thinks it's going to happen before. What'd you all say?
I got before. I'm with you. I got before the draft.
Yeah, it's got to happen.
This guy.
I think it'll happen.
In the draft next
Makes
week.
sense.
Next Wednesday.
Draft is
next
next Wednesday.
Next
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Be tapped in.
That's
I
why
think
they-
we're
6 more
just
days?
going live for that. I think we just straight up going live.
Yeah.
We
Well,
go
that's
live
a
for
win.
that.
Go live for the
First round.
draft. Well, y'all won't be
We
here,
won't
but,
We'll do it live.
but
oh,
we'll do
that's
it live.
right.
We'll
We
do it
won't do it.
We'll
live.
be here.
You'll do it.
We'll do it
live.
live. We'll do it
We'll
live.
be right back.
We'll be right back. Hey, why you keep switching the camera between me and Joel? Hey, hold on. Hey, no. All right,
Spider-Man meme?
all right, here
What
we
is
go.
going on?
Let's keep this thing moving along, man.
Who are
Appreciate
these
y'all
guys?
tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page. Leave that
Hey.
5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Hey, that was the front office of the Bulls and Pat Riley going back and forth. It's like, are you going to make a bad deal? I'm going to make a bad deal. You're gonna make a bad deal? I'm ready to make a bad deal. Hey, let's do it together. Make a bad deal. All right, here we go.
Let's talk a little Bears, y'all. Let's talk a little Bears. Get a little Bears football on
That's what the
the
people want.
docket.
Oh, Joel's hot.
Hey.
Joel's hot.
Who would have ever thought we'd lead? We got almost 500 in the chat talking Bulls. Who would have ever thought we'd lead Bulls?
was
They
shocked.
almost had
for it.
500 in the chat. 343 over on the Twitter side, 143 over on the YouTube side. Shout out to y'all for tuning in and showing love, bro. Connor Williams is a name that has come up recently that the Chicago Bears may be interested in this offseason as we head into the season. Connor Williams was a center for the Miami Dolphins last season who ended up tearing his ACL. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the one in the Hard Knocks video where he was like, I was hooping too, bro. Like he was crying because after he had tore his ACL. But Connor Williams, somebody coming off of injury who has been a high penalty player, but most of the penalties are like him protecting his quarterback and protecting his teammates and stuff like that. And I think that it's somebody that I would be interested in the Bears looking at based on the issues that may and or may not pop up with this offensive line. And the thing reason I say that is because if there's a question on Nate Davis when we get to the season, I really want to see
Thank you. Yep.
who fills out that right guard spot, because there's no better person to fill out that right guard spot than Ryan Bates.
Bates Motel.
Bates Motel. That's nuts. That's a wild name.
Hey, listen, he's gonna murder him there.
That's a wild name.
Levante is beating me to the punch there. I think, but the thing is that Connor Williams is he's a talent. I mean, hopefully the whole, like, that's a come up if he's able to come back from that ACL injury. But like, why not? You could take a flyer on him. And he's what? How old is he? He's 26.
27.
He's 26. Going, yeah, he'll be 27 going into this year.
To me, it just
he's
goes
27. He's 27 right now.
It goes against everything that we've seen from Ryan Post, though. Ryan Post has not signed significantly injured players, and this guy was injured less than.
He signed Lucas Patrick.
Yeah, but Lucas Patrick didn't have a significant injury like 6 months ago.
But this is more about stocking up on talent.
And Ryan Bates actually was hurt.
Yeah, you might. And the thing is, you might be able to get him at we don't know what his contract. I
would think coming off of an ACL, you probably can get him at a little bit more of a discount. Taking PFF numbers, take them into account for what they are. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you feel. But a 90 run block grade.
Yep.
So a road grader offensively, 71 pass block grade could show some improvement there, but 86.5 overall. And I think, listen, here's my thing. When you see last season, again, he's playing the center position. He's a legitimate center. He's coming off an ACL tear. I understand that, but 6'5", 317. You'd have to move some guys out of here to make it work, right? We'd have to see some cuts. Go through training camp to save some money on this. But if you can get him at a little bit of a discount, I think that he is a very low risk, high reward type of player that the Chicago Bears could get in here at center. And I guess it matters, right, what kind of discount you could get him at coming off of that injury. That's my only thing about it. If you can get him on the cheap, I think you got to take that chance there, because you've got a massive question mark at your right guard position.
But you could get it. He signed a 2-year, $14 million contract in 2022. So you're looking at this, he's probably still averaging maybe a $7 million a year, maybe $8 million a year. So to me, that works. I mean, we're paying Nate Davis about $10 million.
Paying Nate Davis 10. Yeah.
So I mean, he's still 27. He'll be 27 this year. Like, I'm fine if you can.
PFF says he is already, but even so, 26, 27 is still a good
5'12", 97 date of birth.
Yeah. You all could correct me if I'm wrong, but like, he's still in the middle of what you would call his traditional rehab time. Like, I know we're in different times, but the ACL tear, and I don't know the grade of it, but they said it was significant. He's 6 months into what is typically a 12-month process. That's a huge risk.
Well, they've already they've been putting some of his tape out there and stuff like that on Twitter, some of his workout and rehab tape. They say he should be ready to go by training camp.
Yeah, his injury, he injured his knee December 11th against the Titans.
That's an 8-month rehab. Let's be real. To be like 210% healthy is a 12-month rehab. We've seen mugs, especially in the NFL, come back from an ACL to Adrian Peterson is a freaking nigga. But we've seen mugs come back. We've seen mugs and then ran 2,000 yards.
Yeah,
absolutely,
that was crazy.
We've seen mugs come back from an ACL tear in 8 months.
And the thing is, it's about creating depth. He can work himself into, shape for the year. So I'm like, to me, that type of caliber of player to get. It's one thing, like, you get Yannick and it's like, okay, he was kind of a teetering guy. Like, he wasn't a perennial all-pro guy where everybody's knocking down the door to get him. This is a talented guy right here where,
he was a better center than he was a left guard. He played left guard too. He played left guard in Dallas. He went to Miami. He played center in Miami, and it worked.
That's the only reason I say get him. We do need someone who can,
the center
position is the scariest for me, because it's like, hey,
I'd like somebody younger at that position. I think that what Connor Williams showed, you know what I mean? Like I like Coleman Shelton. And here's the thing. Let him come in. If you sign him and he gets beat out, he gets beat out.
Yeah.
I said beat out, not beat off.
I
thought that's where we were going.
No, I'm talking about Grady. I don't know what you're talking about.
There you go. A lot of that was one too many. That was one too many. Double flag is crazy.
Wow.
Hey yo.
But no, I just
I use that.
Why was his AO like Yogi Bear? Like, hey Yogi. What do you got on these picnic baskets? But no, I think that if you were to go out and you were to sign Connor Williams, to me, that puts you in a position where you've got some depth at the center position. You've also got depth now at left guard, a spot where Tevin Jenkins, I would love to see him out there.
Yeah.
But we kind of know Tevin Jenkins
Might not be out there.
Real quick, we got 500. In the chat,
I'm a
by the way.
500 in the chat. 500.
What is
Snap.
What was that in the back there?
Celebration.
That's
Crazy. I love it. Hey, with the flicking back and forth, it actually worked.
That was nuts. That was nuts.
Jesus.
Hey, no, I love this. I love the potential over the fear of the injury because, as you mentioned it already a number of times, I love the fact that this creates more depth. And then I'm honestly sick of the Nate Davis experiment. If this guy doesn't really kind of shape up and get himself together with the culture of this team, I think this is a perfect move to implement competition at the center position, but then also with the swing line and the fact that Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton can play guard positions as well. Then you have those guys to back up an injury-riddled Tevin Jenkins, and then the Nate Davis, who we don't know if he's 100% focused in on, being that starter. So I really do love this move. The PFF sacks allowed last year once. PFF. Yeah, our guys at PFF. One sack allowed. Got to work on those penalties. He is tied for 6 penalties last year, but this is a guy that clearly has experience at a center position that we need.
No, 100%, and I think that's what, to me, create the competition in that room, build the depth in that room. I think Connor Williams is good enough to be the starter on this team. I want Coleman Shelton to be the backup. And I think realistically, if you pay Connor Williams, Coleman Shelton does end up being your backup. That puts you in a much better position to me. I think that this is one that I would love to see the Bears get done. I think they could get it for a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. What was the contract that he had last season? He was there for 7.
2-year deal. He had 8. Where was he at? 7. You talking about 7.8 mil last year and 8.5. No, I'm sorry. Let me see that. Yeah, well, he had a base of 6.5 mil last year, right, and he only had a million his first year in 2022.
So get him in here on
he got a roster bonus. So you get him on the 1 mil. He got a signing bonus of 1.3. Then he had a roster bonus for his first year.
Yeah,
what he got?
Yeah,
but to me, I think that's the conversation we're having, right? You get him in here on a $7 million deal, you're winning.
Let's go.
But now the part that is the question is, would you rather the Bears invest here or the other side of the line? Because that is where they're focusing at.
Nope. But the type of talent.
What you mean at defensive end?
The type of
on defensive end.
Offense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was a priority, I'd take first. I'd look at defensive end just because we have players already here that can compete for center. I do agree Connor Williams probably would be the best option out of the 3 with Coleman and Ryan, and it would address so much. But I think that defensive end, man, to me, I would go after that other edge rusher outside of Montez Sweat.
I don't know. Caleb every reason not to fail.
Yeah, I would say we go to line only because
that's a good point.
But the thing is,
I can't deny that one.
But we have Booker. So we don't know what he's going to do. We don't know the impact of having our secondary intact. Like, I think having Kevin Byard helps a lot because that's just, our coverage is going to be really good.
Yeah.
So it might actually help some of the D-line. If I have to make this choice, you all know what I wanted to do, early in the draft, but it is what it is.
John Robinson?
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you want to run him?
You wanted
a running back.
No, I was saying a defensive end in the draft, and then we would get, I wanted to trade down and get more. Defensive end. I still wanted to shore my offensive defensive line. What we have here is we don't really know how good Ryan Bates is. We don't really know if Coleman Shelton is going to be the guy.
I know he's a good right guard. I just don't know if he's a good center, which is what scares the heck out of me.
We just don't know. Ryan Pose, if you're going to go out swinging, you do so protecting as much of Caleb Williams behind as you can. You put up. Hey, that's our future right there.
Yeah.
We can rebuild this defense. We've done it my entire life. I've never seen Caleb Williams. I've never seen
I've never seen an offensive line.
Let's do it. Let's do all that. Go for all in. Listen, full throttle, baby.
Protect the asset.
And we don't know what type of leap does Javon Dexter take this year?
I think to me, that's why I'm not as focused on defensive end, because I don't think it matters what defensive end you have if he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could go out there, you can have freaking Montez Sweat and
Josh Sweat.
you can have Montez and Josh Sweat. You can have the Sweat brothers. Sweat.
Congratulations.
There it is. You got the Sweat brothers out there, right? But realistically speaking, if you're not getting pressure from your all right. If you're not getting pressure from your dog, all right,
dogs.
if you're not getting pressure from the middle of that line, what do you? Yeah, like it doesn't matter as much. If you're not getting pressure from your 3 technique position, it doesn't matter as much. So to me, if you're getting pressure from the 3 tech, if you're getting pressure from Javon Dexter, you can have DeMarcus Walker out there and he'll be a 7-sack guy. You can have him opposite Montez Sweat and go through the season and then go get your guy that you want to be your guy during the draft next season. Like I think that's a better scenario for you to be in, but you have to see Javon Dexter take that step.
I got to beat a dead horse with this one.
Hey, yo.
Hey, listen.
Oh.
It's a figure of speech, baby. Hey, listen. Where's your mind, buddy? Stop. Anyway, listen. Just in case Caleb throws passes as bad as Justin Fields in those videos we saw.
Oh my God!
Hey, listen.
I didn't think you would bring it up.
Just in case that happens, I want that boy to be able to take a nap in the pocket. Listen, I want Caleb to be like, I got to tie my shoe. Okay.
You still there? Never.
There you go.
No. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
That
ain't
bad,
even credits. Bro. That was on air.
No,
that was
live.
Nuts.
Yeah, that was live.
Those passes were. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you had told me that was, please don't throw the football.
I'm not gonna throw it.
Please don't throw the football.
He's about to break this whole studio.
Run it around.
No.
Stop. That was bad.
It was nuts, bro.
Hey, that man was like, "It's coming."
Hey,
Got it. All right, cool.
There's never been a worse case for any Justin Fields fan in life than that video. Bro, it's a dude running routes on air legitimately. I don't know who the
route guy.
I don't know who that is. But
some
route guy. He can really run. Routes.
He run routes, but bro, that man was running them routes full speed, stopping,
10 months
waiting
later
for the ball, and then the ball would get to him. I was like, "What the heck is that?"
Le'Veon Bell has a tweet that said, "Them passes is late."
Hey, that was nuts.
Just to be
Le'Veon
outside.
Bell a little bit of a hater though. Yeah. But like them passes was late.
That was bad.
So
that was
just in case Caleb is that bad, which I don't think he is.
No. DJ Moore already said anticipation.
I want Ryan Poles to make sure he has as much protection after Devin Jenkins goes down. Guess what?
I love Crimson, man. That's Pittsburgh's problem.
That's a fact.
Hey, but that Madden video did kind of blow me, man.
That's what you get.
No, but see, the Madden video is fine. It's Madden. I saw that and I was like, that means nothing because Madden is about putting the best players on the field. I would do the same thing if I was playing with Pittsburgh in franchise mode.
Of course you would.
Because his break tackle is high, his speed is high.
Yeah.
And with the new kickoff rules, all you're doing is just trying to get one block and you can open things up. They're not catching Justin Fields.
Pat, making him Hines Ward. You want to know why? Because you have no worry about him starting and passing the ball.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Well, it's not even that. It's just the fact that I have him on my team. Like he's one of the best runners on my team. You know what else I would put him at? Running back.
Dang. In receiver.
In Madden? No, I wouldn't put him in receiver.
It's Cordell Stewart. They're gonna make
it's Madden.
Like he's like 6'5" and fast. Receiver.
No, because his catching ain't gonna be high.
Hey, listen, he might be able to high point that thing.
Oh boy,
y'all pissing Calvin off.
No, but here's the thing. It has nothing to do. Like in Madden, I'm the dude that I always put players in the wrong position. I put Devin Hester at running back when he was on Madden. They had 99 speed.
I
put him at running back every time because I was like, I'm running an end around, or I could just put him back here and run him to the outside edge. And he gonna get open.
Hey, like what's crazy is that if you put Justin Fields back there, he'd be better than Velus Jones, and then that's already winning for them. Anyway, so we're moving on. Sign Connor Williams. Yeah, we should do that, right? Again, give Caleb Williams all the time in the world. There we go.
Let's finish the show out on this one, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. I want to finish the show with a stat that really shows how good the Chicago Bears could have been last season.
Talk to me.
Wow, wait a minute. Wait, what?
And how close they are to being good this season. I thought that this was a very interesting stat. This was tweeted out by Warren Sharp yesterday. if games ended after 3 quarters last season.
Oh, here we go.
Hold on. No.
If the game was shorter,
You gotta listen. You gotta listen to the stat. If games ended after 3 quarters last season, the Chicago Bears would have been 10-6-1 with a 625 win percentage last year. The 8th most wins in the NFL. They outgained their opponents by 430 yards through 3 quarters and ranked 10th in total line of scrimmage EPA, offense and defense, through 3 quarters.
Okay.
But in the 4th quarter of games,
Here we go.
the Bears recorded a negative 50.7 total EPA, the worst in the NFL.
Here we go.
Had 14 turnovers, the worst in the NFL. Threw 10 interceptions, the worst in the NFL. And were outgained by 446 yards, number 2 worst in the NFL. And
Congratulations.
finished in
Played
4th
yourself.
place in the NFC North. But to me, that stat shows me. Now, I know a lot of people are going to look at that and they're going to say, oh, that tells you the difference between Justin Fields and Caleb Williams. Caleb's not going to do that. We got to see, because how many 4th quarter meltdowns were issues that we looked at with the coaching staff? How many 4th quarter meltdowns were issues that we looked at with not having the right personnel on the field? How many 4th quarter issues were that we looked at with not even attempting to be aggressive in the 4th quarter? I think that realistically, when you look at this team, if this coaching staff moved in the right direction, the way that we think they did this offseason, we could see a much better Chicago Bears team this season. And I don't think it's that far off. The fact that we were dominating through the first 3 quarters and consistently in the 4th quarter, you saw a team that fell apart in all parts of it.
Yeah, didn't know how to win.
In all fairness, I will say that's your OC being too timid,
conservative.
That's on Matt Eberflus for not changing that. So hopefully we don't have that same thing. He's still here. Let's see how that works out. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just all Justin Fields.
And Getsy had a huge plan.
Speaking of Getsy,
hey, facts, tricky trips. Nothing worse than Justin Jones in coverage on 3rd and 15.
There you go.
2 weeks in a row.
There you go.
Cleveland.
2
that was
weeks in a
Cleveland.
row.
He got killed by Njoku.
Hey, he
I
dropped
remember that.
back in coverage twice.
Njoku.
And 2 touchdowns were scored on him.
And they sat Montez against the
Montez
Lions.
Sweat against the Lions in one of the most important drives. Like, there was a lot of, like, I know people want to look at that and say it's a Justin Fields stat. No, that is a Bears team stat. The Bears in the 4th quarter of games could not get out of their own way.
I mean, the Detroit game too. The Detroit game when they were up, how many points?
That's the one that they sat Montez. They
Lions game?
coached themselves out of that win.
Yeah.
But then they came back and figured it out. They won that next game.
Pat, but Flus has a beard now. And, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like he's my biggest. He's still my biggest concern coming into the season. I like Flus as a DC.
Dude, I thought Justin Jones was the new safety.
Did they also not really play the preseason either last year?
No, they didn't.
They didn't play much in the preseason. But see, here's the thing. This was a problem throughout the year.
Yeah.
This was not a preseason thing. This was who the Bears were throughout the year. And that's why, to me, when I look at that stat and why, like, kids starts laughing, if at through 3 quarters, right, it's funny because it's like, well, you got to play 4. That's the thing that needs to change this year. You need to be elite in 4 quarters this season. It shouldn't be that you're right, or at least if you're gonna pick a quarter to struggle in, the first, right? Like if we're gonna play 3 quarters, the first quarter would be the one that you miss out on. Like, to me, the fact that the Chicago Bears were that close, and literally this stat basically says found ways to shoot themselves in the foot on a consistent basis. If this coaching staff takes the step that it's believed to take, not even the players on the team, the coaching staff, I was about to be crazy, takes the step that it needs to take. That's where to me, you're going to get the most. The timpani didn't fit there, bro. You just pushing buttons back there, bro.
I was wondering what was that.
You just pushing buttons, bro. Like,
I look at Tiffany moments.
To your point, though, like you said,
he don't even have a symbol at the end of the timpani. It's supposed to be. It's not even a good timpani. I don't get a good finish on that or nothing. You know what I mean?
So you just sound like you're setting up the premise.
Yeah, but no, it's not good, bro.
I'm supporting you, my
poor
brother.
placement.
I'm supporting you, my brother.
It's a
Poor
laughable
placement. That
topic
was bad.
because we sit here and we talk about how bad Luke Getsy was and stuff like that.
He was like really going somewhere. And it was like,
I don't know where I went because it was like there was no need to play that.
But on multiple fronts, you have a better, potentially better QB. You have a better OC. You have a better roster all the way around. You have more weapons and things of that nature. Hopefully, you have a better line. We're projected to. On multiple fronts, you have a better team. We should have a better result when it comes to these fourth quarter collapses.
And
So that's what we're looking for.
To your point, what will happen is that you allow the defense to hopefully be rested. You're not taxing the defense by always having them out because you're always having 3 and outs. Now when the defense can have momentum, that's been the issue. You don't want to keep putting these guys out there, risking injury, risking them getting tired, and then they wear down. And then so in the fourth quarter, when you need to do something crazy or something spectacular, they can't do it because they're always, playing not to lose instead of playing to win.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to stay positive with this because based off of all those rankings, the only way you can go is up. I mean, you got your last and everything. You can only get better from there, right?
At least one quarter.
I mean, come on, let's just try something different. But in all seriousness, I think the play calling is going to improve those things. Side note, I just saw that Luke Giddey is having a rough time over there.
You think?
Like
really?
His quarterbacks are not understanding the OTAs
The dumbest
at all.
thing in the world was people coming to me. Cap said this to me. He was like, he just got hired again.
No.
I said, what does that mean? He was like, well, it means
nothing.
that somebody believes in him. I was like, no, it means somebody's dumb.
Nagy went back to the Kansas City.
You know what I mean? Like, he was not good.
Or desperate.
He was not good, bro.
Yeah, no, it was
This
bad.
man ran the same screen pass 4 times versus a championship defense.
That also goes to show you that no matter what we were doing, because Justin's having struggles where he's at, Getsy's having struggles where he's at. We are not. Wait, listen, we dodged the bullet.
Hey, Ryan Poles said, "Get him out of here. Get them out of here, bro." Hey, listen. Hey,
I can't deny it, PK. I cannot deny
I was on the. I said this. I said this when I went to camp. I said it before that. I was on the wrong side of the debate.
Yeah,
I was on the wrong side of the debate.
I was too. I let my heart get in the way.
It is what it is. Hey, I'm glad that I'm not the GM.
My thought was more about building the team out more. There is some growth.
Nah, that'd have been horrible if we got Keenan Allen and you come into this season.
Well, no, it was if you were able to flip that number 1 pick
and you
can't
get him
with
to
like
rock?
a Joe Alt and well, that was my whole point was that you could do something
because you could still get a really good offensive line, and we got Caleb Williams. I was on the wrong side.
Do you think it's because you feel like you're on the wrong side of the debate because of what you just recently seen, the video?
No, I feel like I'm on the wrong side of the
just,
debate. Well, the video makes it much
hilarious.
worse, but I feel like I was on the wrong side of the debate because I've seen Caleb.
Yeah,
they're not. I'm gonna tell you this right now. They're not worried about Caleb's play.
Yeah.
They're worried about him understanding the system, understanding the lingo, his offensive line working well. They're not worried about can he get the football there.
Nope.
They're not worried about is the ball going to be there on time.
Anticipation is not.
They're not worried about none of that. Listen, I tell you right now, I can always admit on the show when I'm wrong, man. I don't have no problems being wrong, especially if it means my team was right.
There you go.
It makes me feel a lot
At the end of the day, that's what matters.
Shout out Bear Force One, man. Let's get this thing off the ground. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love, man. But that stat is crazy. Appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, the super producer, Joel Holt, the man running the 1s and 2s, C-Dub in the build. Oh, went the JC first. C-Dub just forehead right there. That did not work how you thought it was gonna work. Now it's just eyes and forehead. And what's JC doing back there? I don't. Now we got teeth. Now we up to teeth.
On top of the T.
Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. One love, bear down, see red. Go White Sox. Hard
Go
Hawkins.
Cubs,
Go Cubs, go!
Yeah.
Hey,
Got to see that.
Yeah, you enjoyed
I
that
was at
Cubs
the
game.
Cubs game.
Oh,
yesterday.
we're gonna save that for Friday.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I missed that
yeah.
one. I missed
Save
that.
that for Friday.
Hey, I already got the text from the wife. She said after all your partying yesterday, you coming home, right?
Dang.
I'll see you at 8, baby.
Oh,
Y'all